Welcome, my darklings. I thought I would share 13 of my pet peeves. Just a fun way for you to get to know me a little better. In no particular order, feather pillows. I just find that they're heavy, lumpy, uncomfortable, and a sensory nightmare. I can feel every bristle and fletch through fabric. It's like attempting to lie on a bed of needles. Tuneless whistling. It really grates on my eardrums. No hate towards people who can whistle. I suppose it's a sort of verbal fidgeting that affects everyone in the immediate area. Tiny yapping dogs. I don't hate animals, but if you are a dog owner, you really should take the time to train your dog. It's the ones that just yap at everything for no particular reason, and it's that really high-pitched shrieking. It can't really be called a bark. For wolf whistling. I don't take it as a compliment. I think it's a very crude way of complimenting someone in the rudest possible way without actually breaking any laws. Technically, I do think it could come under harassment. I generally try not to dress or carry myself in such a way that's intended to garner that sort of attention. Hence why I feel extremely annoyed when people wolf whistle at me. 5. Insomnia documentaries. I just find that they're a huge waste of time and resources. You never learn anything new from them, and they only cover ground that everyone already knows, especially if you are a doctor or someone who suffers from insomnia. They just cover all the sleep hygiene tips that your GP could give you in 5 minutes. You don't need a 50-minute documentary on it. Polystyrene. It gets everywhere. It's really bad for the environment, and the noise it makes just really sets my teeth on edge. 7. Clothes labels. I try to cut them out wherever possible without damaging the garment. It's like putting a stinging nettle in the back of my neck. I've just got to take the label out, I'm sorry. By the way, I do sell clothes on Depop, and it gives a really bad impression when I sell used clothes on there because all the labels are cut out and it looks like I'm trying to sidestep away from the fact that they're from Shein or something. All my clothes are from reputable labels. They're really well made. I just don't like the labels. It's genuinely because I can't have them in my clothes. Jargon and figures of speech. Isn't communication hard enough? Why do we need all these additional layers to learn about? And somehow they always seem to come as a instinctive second language to neurotypicals. I wish there was a phrase book of every possible jargon, slang and figure of speech, because it's just a minefield trying to figure it all out, especially on the fly mid-conversation. 9. Football hooligans. At least in the UK, this is a very prominent thing, especially when we have the World Cup and different seasons of football. I don't know too much about it, nor do I want to. I find it a very boring sport, but the hooliganism and drinking culture that accompanies it is completely disproportionate. It's a bag of wind being kicked into a net, but it's the drinking culture that surrounds it that really bothers me. It makes certain places at certain times feel unsafe. So you might need to get an early night, and of course no visas to be had because everybody is either papping their horns or shouting at the tops of their voices. It's just a very selfish way of enjoying a relatively mundane sport. 10. Heat waves. Heat waves in England are particularly grueling because we don't have air conditioning. Clothes are rarely water resistant and breathable at the same time. Everybody cracks out their loudest voices and cars to show off while the sun's shining and the roads are dry. And the humidity is really quite difficult. It really affects respiration and my sleep quality. Plus I feel like a shower about 2 hours after I've just had one. It's just so humid in England. You can have a heat wave and it still be overcast, so the clouds kind of trap the heat in and it makes it really muggy. 11. Noisy or creaky shoes. You know when you get a creak in the sole of one trainer and you can hear someone walking and there's like an alternate kind of squeak as they go? If I have shoes that do that, I have to get rid of them. I can't even donate them and put that misery on someone else. 12. Getting fobbed off. While I won't give away my age too freely on the internet, I do look a bit younger than I actually am. Because of my youthful complexion, people seem to take for granted that I don't know anything and that they can just fob me off. I don't know, it just really gets on my nerves. Just because I dress a bit strange doesn't mean that I'm not all there. Finally, number 13, which is quite closely related to being fobbed off, is half-done jobs or just bodged jobs. One of my favourite mottos is if you cut corners off a square, you're left with an octagon, hence you have more sides and more work. Taking shortcuts is really the shortest route to your goal. Been described as being very technical and anally retentive. I do have a very strong conviction to see it through to the end and do it properly. Above all, I absolutely hate having to revisit something I've done, especially when I did it properly the first time and it didn't work out. Well, those are my 13 pet peeves. Do you have any pet peeves? Let rip in the comments. I'd love to join in with your rants. If you enjoyed this video, do subscribe. Honestly, my content is much more positive than this usually, and I'll see you next time. Take care, my darklings. Bye bye.